Hello, my name is Ed Drazis. I'm part of the Industrial Automation Group at Schaedler Yesco, and I'm part of our services team. Today I'm going to be talking about Rockwell Automation's remanufacturing, their inventory recertification, and their repair services. So what is remanufacturing? Remanufacturing is taking a used or defective part made by Allen Bradley or Reliance, sent back to Rockwell Automation, and it'd be returned in like new condition. We could remanufacture any Allen Bradley Reliance part that's been out of warranty, under warranty, or has been previously remanufactured. Again, it's quality that none of our repair competitors can compete with us on. So what does like new condition mean? So basically when your part goes back to Rockwell Automation, they'll check the serial number, they'll check it for any kind of engineering updates if it's needed on it, they'll thoroughly clean the part, do firmware upgrades on it, the engineering updates, use OEM specified components. We also run functional testing when we send these parts back to remanufactured. So a lot of our competition will maybe, if they're working on a motor, will spin a motor one time and ship it out. We run it through functional testings where it's running through a system and it's, again, in like new condition. We do a full quality evaluation, a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper warranty. So if you had an output card that failed and maybe output 3 was defective on it, and maybe 8 months later output 6 was bad on it, the whole part is covered under warranty. A lot of companies will just warrant the part that they repaired. Well, Rockwell's going to warrant the whole complete unit since it's been remanufactured. Rockwell Automation offers 3 remanufacturing services. They offer economy remanufacturing, a standard remanufacturing, and priority exchange. With economy remanufacturing, we basically ship that part back to Rockwell. They run it through to all the testing, upgrade it, log that serial number for warranty. Roughly about a 3 to 4 week turnaround with a 12-month warranty. We also have a standard remanufacturing. That's almost like an expedited remanufacture. We send a part back to Rockwell. If they have one available in their exchange loop, they'll ship one out UPS ground. It could be about 3 or 4 day turnaround, and that offers an 18-month warranty. Rockwell Automation also offers a priority exchange. With the priority exchange, they have thousands of parts that are already in their remanufacturing loop. If there's one available, we ship it out next day air. We have 15 days to get the core unit back to send back to Rockwell Automation, and you get a 24-month warranty on it. A lot of times when we quote the remanufacturing, we're also going to quote new products also. So that way you could judge remanufacturing versus new. We try to we want to be your trusted advisor also. If there's anything that's maybe discontinued or something that we have a better fit for you, we'll also recommend that also. A lot of customers too, we talk about the 50-50 rule. Sometimes with some repairs, there'll be 50% of new, sometimes they'll purchase a new product. But don't forget the difference between the repair and the remanufacturing. When you send a part back for a repair, you're not going to get the engineering updates, you're not going to get firmware updates and so forth. So a lot of times remanufacture, we are around that 50-50 rule, sometimes around the 60-40 rule also. So again, we just want to make sure, we want to tell our story and let customers understand the difference between repair and remanufacturing and what we could do with Rockwell Automation. We also remanufacture discontinued parts. So if you have something that's been out there for a while, even the old PLC5 processors, we still remanufacture those. So if you ever run into any issues, if we could help you with any of those kind of products, we'd be more than happy to help you with that. Rockwell always supports their products no matter what. They always have different products to migrate to, but again, they'll also offer remanufacturing services for those kind of parts. We also have a program called Inventory Recertification. So if you're not really confident about the parts you have sitting in your storeroom, if they're in working condition, if it's an open box or so forth, we offer this inventory assurance. So if you have a processor or an I/O module, we can send it back to Rockwell. They'll test it. If it passed all testing, we recertify it for $325. We'll put a year warranty on it and we'll repackage it like a new condition. If it's a VFD, depending on the horsepower, it's based on different horsepower ranges, how we'll work that. A lot of times, again, you talk to customers and they might have a part sitting on their shelf, 3 different parts. One part is in a box that's sealed, one box is open, and one box with maybe a part sitting on the shelf. 9 out of 10 times the technician is going to come if something fails and they're going to get one to replace. They're going to use that box that's closed and sealed because they know it's in working condition. Nobody messes with it or so forth. So this recertification program is a pretty good program through Rockwell that we could help you with. So, and again, even sometimes when there's parts in, tough environments and storerooms and so forth, it could actually fail also. So feel free to contact us with any of those parts also. So just to sum it up a little bit on the remanufacturing, again, we want to partner with our customers and work with our customers on this remanufacturing. We want more of a reliable parts in your storeroom. And one of the important things here is, again, we want to assure against no counterfeit parts, compromised products, or parts that could be a security risk to you. So there's a lot of gray market. There's a lot of different ways to purchase some drives, but to purchase parts. But using an authorized distributor is usually your best move, again, because, again, with different issues, compromising your plant floor and so forth with unauthorized parts. I always use the story as if you were going to the supermarket tonight and you found a flash drive laying in the parking lot, right? Would you pick up that flash drive and stick it in your computer? Nobody would do that. Would you take it to your work computer? You definitely wouldn't do that. And that's a lot of things that we run into when you run into unauthorized distributors, because, again, you don't know where our products are coming from. A lot of our competition will say, hey, we can repair that part, and normally they can repair it, and then they're trying to sell you something that they have. Something that they have came from old tool cribs or different parts or parts they bought off somebody else. So it's important, to use the authorized distributors. And as a trusted advisor, we just want to make sure that you're aware of that and have that conversations with the customers. I just ran into a customer a couple weeks ago that purchased a panel view from, again, they bought it online on the internet. They thought they were getting a brand new panel view, and once they opened up the panel view, there was a chemical burn on it. So you just want to really run into issues like that. So again, feel free to contact us at Schaedler Yesco, and we can work with Rockwell Automation on that. Another thing we do is we do repair non-Rockwell parts. So we like to be a single source for our customers for repair and remanufacturing. Back in the 80s, when Rockwell started doing the repair and remanufacturing, a lot of customers came to them and said, hey, you do such a great job at this. Have you ever thought about repairing non-Rockwell parts? So Rockwell repairs a lot of their stuff a lot of the non-Rockwell parts in our Munster, Indiana facility. I had a privilege of visiting that facility a few times, and they invested millions of dollars in test equipment to repair some of these non-Rockwell parts. And it's been very, very successful for them. We also offer a 12-month warranty on anything we repair that is non-Rockwell. So anything that comes back with, either Allen Bradley that's remanufactured or a non-Rockwell part that's repaired, we'll have a barcode on it. And we could always check that part to make sure it's on the warranty if you would have an issue with it and so forth. Calling into myself or any of our inside industrial automation team, we could always check that. We pride ourselves on ease of doing business. So when we work with customers, we like to be their main source for the repair and remanufacturing. And what we'll do is we'll even schedule our truck to pick up the parts. So what we normally do, if you do have a defective part, you want it repaired or remanufactured, we'll schedule our truck to pick it up. We'll do a defective warranty in our system for $0. That way we can track the part from when we pick it up, when we send it back to Rockwell, when it's at Rockwell, and we can track it from there on. So again, another ease of doing business. You don't have to worry about packing it, shipping it out, and so forth. We could take care of that for you. And that's it. Is there any questions? Yeah, good point. Yeah, so one of the questions was, why do we remanufacture, even discontinue parts or other parts? So that's a great question. So we remanufacture discontinued parts because naturally you can't get them, all right? So if you can't get them, we can remanufacture them. So sometimes some facilities may have some older equipment, and maybe right at the time they don't have it in their budget to replace that with newer products, to migrate to newer products. So to keep them up and running, yeah, we could work through our remanufacturing process to remanufacture that. A lot of customers will use it for cost savings. A lot of people will measure cost savings. So with remanufactured versus new, could be 40, 50% cost savings, and that adds up also. So with that cost savings, then we could use that. They could use that money in other parts of their facility, other parts of the storeroom, and so forth to do that. you know. And then like I said about earlier with that 50-50 rule, especially, again, with the repair versus remanufacture. And that's why we like to stress that, because, again, it is updated to latest firmware upgrades. Nobody else could do that. That's all proprietary to Rockwell Automation. They can't do an engineering update on it. That's all proprietary to Rockwell Automation. I just had a customer that had an older PowerFlex 700 drive, and they started manufacturing them 12, 14 years ago. And about 2 years into production, Rockwell realized that the power supply needed to be beefed up on it. So if you had an older PowerFlex 700 that was never remanufactured or never had an issue with it, you send that back to be remanufactured. Rockwell would run that serial number and say, hey, that was one of the first power supplies they started using. We're going to pull that power supply out. Even if you didn't have a power supply issue with that drive, they will replace that and then do the rest of the remanufacturing and fix the rest of the parts rest of the issues that were with that drive. So does that answer your question? Is that good? Yeah, thanks. Good question. Yes, sir. That's a great question also. So the question was, is there a point at no return where if it's damaged that bad? And usually if a customer says it's in really bad shape, I usually send it back for economy remanufacture, just for the heck of it. Again, that's a great question, because about 2 months ago I ran a customer that had a panel view 550. They were one of the first panel views that came out. They're the small black units. And when they sent it back, it was in like 10 pieces, you know? So we shipped it back to Rockwell, and I'm thinking, I don't know how this is going to work out. And the customer called me. He's like, did you ship me a new panel view 550? And I said, well, you can't get them. They're discontinued. So Rockwell has those casings and everything, and actually remanufactured that. He thought he was getting a new panel view. Yeah, you know. So, So basically, in any kind of shape, we could usually send it back. Because sometimes you have drives that have power problems, you know, and they'll basically blow the front end out of them. We can send them back to remanufacture. They'll strip that down, clean it, and then basically get like a new product, you know. We see a lot of customers too that use our component drives, like our PowerFlex 440s, 523s, 525 drives. Rockwell they don't offer an economy remanufacturing, but they offer priority exchanges, and that's another way of cost savings with those products also. Because Rockwell basically ships a new drive out because they don't remanufacture, so it works out to be some nice cost savings. Good question. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay. Well, I'm part of a services team. There's a couple of us here in the back, a couple of us here in the booth. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. Thanks for your time.